Have you ever felt like you're drowning in information, but somehow it's getting harder and harder to know what to trust? You are not alone. Today, we're going to unpack how we got to this point. And believe it or not, it all starts with a little brain teaser. Let's get into it. Okay, take a second and think about this one. It's from a pretty famous study. So you've got a patch of lily pads, right? It doubles in size every single day. If it takes a full 48 days to cover the entire lake, how long would it take to cover just half of it? What's your gut telling you? If the number 24 just popped into your head, you're in good company. That's what most people think. I mean, it makes sense, right? Half the lake, half the time. Our brain sees half and 48 and just snaps to the easy math. It feels right. It's simple. And our brains absolutely love simple. But it's wrong. The right answer is 47 days. Kind of wild, right? But think about it. If the patch doubles every day, then to be fully covered on day 48, it must have been half covered the day before, on day 47. And this gets to a really crucial point. Our first gut instinct answer can often lead us way off track. And this is the perfect metaphor for our problem today. Our online world, our entire information landscape, is just jam-packed with these lily pad problems. You know, headlines, videos, memes that feel true at a glance, but when you look a little closer, they completely fall apart. And when we all fall for different versions of these, we start to lose a shared reality. And that's where trust goes to die. So how do these lily pad problems spread so ridiculously fast? It's not magic, and it's definitely not an accident. It is by design. We've got to pop the hood and take a look at the virality engine that's running the whole show. You might think it's about what's true or false, or maybe what's positive versus negative. But the research actually shows it's all about emotional arousal. Content that triggers these high arousal emotions, think anger, awe, anxiety, gets shared way, way more than stuff that makes us feel low arousal emotions like sadness. It's because that high arousal feeling literally gets our blood pumping and makes us want to do something. And what's the easiest thing to do online? Hit share. And this quote from one of the key studies just hits the nail on the head. Anger and anxiety, they get the clicks, they get the engagement. The algorithms that run our social media feeds, they aren't human. They just see what works, and they learn that making us anxious and angry keeps us glued to the screen. So they just feed us more of it, prioritizing our reactions over reflection and over accuracy. Now, this virality engine, it's not operating in a vacuum. It's pouring gasoline on a fire that's actually been burning in this country for a very, very long time. Media with a political slant is absolutely nothing new, but its power to divide us has been completely supercharged. Just look at this timeline. I mean, using the media for political gain is as old as the country itself. Way back in 1798, the government was passing laws to shut down newspapers that disagreed with them. Jump forward to 1996, and the launch of Fox News was shown to actually change how people voted. But then, the 2010s happened. Social media didn't just show up to the party, it basically put the whole system on steroids. So while this partisan divide has deep roots, today's tech is amplifying everything to a scale we've just never seen before. It puts us all in these little echo chambers where our own beliefs are just reflected back at us over and over again. And that makes it so much harder to find common ground or, even agree on a basic set of facts. And you can't have trust without that. Okay, so we have this outrage-driven tech landscape and a long history of media division. But there's one more crucial piece to this puzzle, and that's us. It's our own brains and how they work. Hey, remember our lily pad problem from the beginning? Well, the skill you need to solve it has a name: cognitive reflection. It's that ability to just hit the pause button on your gut reaction and think a little more deeply. Research consistently shows that people who score lower on this skill are way more likely to believe and share misinformation. When we don't use that muscle, we just go with what feels true. And when millions of us are doing that, trust in, everything just starts to fall apart. So that all sounds pretty bad. I know. The system is literally built to exploit our brain's shortcuts. But, and this is a big but, we're not helpless. We can fight back. We can actually build a toolkit of new habits and skills to help us see what's really going on. And here is probably the single most powerful tool you can learn. It's time to stop reading vertically and start reading laterally. Now, vertical reading is what we all do naturally. We land on a website and we scroll up and down, looking at the About Us page, trying to figure out if it's legit. But you know what professional fact checkers do? They do something completely different. The moment they land on an unfamiliar site, they open new tabs and start Googling the source itself. They ask, what are other people saying about this place? So when you're doing that lateral reading, what should you be on the lookout for? Well, the International Fact-Checking Network has a great set of principles, and we can boil it down to 3 quick questions. First, are they truly nonpartisan, or are they pushing an agenda? Second, are they transparent? Do they show you their sources so you could check their work if you wanted to? And third, does the evidence actually lead to their conclusion, or are they twisting facts to fit a narrative? All of these tools, all these habits, they really roll up into one big, powerful idea: the concept of an information diet. It's simple, really. Just like we think about the food we eat for our physical health, we need to get just as deliberate about the information we consume for our mental and, honestly, our societal health. Ultimately, being a better, smarter consumer of information isn't a passive thing. It's an active skill. It's like learning to play an instrument. It takes practice. It takes a healthy dose of skepticism. And yeah, it takes a willingness to do that little bit of extra work, to open one more tab, to read laterally, and to second-guess our own gut reactions. It's about choosing to flex that critical thinking muscle. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Think about the sources you go to every day, your feeds, the sites you visit, the accounts you follow. Are they actually nourishing your understanding of the world? Or are they just feeding you a bunch of empty, high-arousal calories? Really think about it. What's in your information diet?